Good day, everyone. Praise be the names of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. I'm Val Mancao Sandiego. I was born February 14, 1962. I graduated with Bachelor of Science in Accounting at the University of San Carlos. I have 4 children and married to Ofelia Sosobrado Sandiego. My children's names are Angelica Luz, Andrea Loren, Andre Lester, and Ana Luisa. I'd like to share with you my life experience with Jesus as a center of our lives. And I'd like to start with you during my childhood years. It all started when I was 2 years old, that my mom usually brings me to the campus of the University of San Carlos. My mom, Luz Mancao Sandiego, was then the head of the PE department, Physical Education department of the USC, and she was the founder of the USC dance group. She, during the rehearsal of the dance troupe, they usually danced the routine of the Sinulog, which I was so impressed, and that was my first experience and to meet the Santo Niño. I can still recall during the time that I was part of their dance routine as a baby being offered to the Santo Niño. So I could easily connect myself really to the devotion of the little child Jesus. Then my mother was then the researcher of the Sinulog Festival, which was commissioned by Mayor Florentino Solon during the 1980s. She was commissioned to do a research work, and in fact, Titang Jola was the research person of the Mambaholo Sinulog group. Ang Titang, being the resource person, had a great influence in our lives. It was during the 1970s that my dad had a rare brain disease, and my mom has been asking these little kids in the Mambaholo Sinulog group to ask for cure of my dad's disease. In fact, my mom gives them costumes every year for the Sinulog Festival, and we've been trying to help them also up to now, together with my wife, bringing them costumes every year. So what happened because of those Sinulog dance and through the intercession of this prayer dance, my dad was cured from this rare disease, and that was really made my deeper devotion to the Señor Santo Niño. And I'd like also to thank my godmother who had influenced me also. Can you imagine, every birthday since I was 2-3 years old, she always gave me Santo Niño as a Christmas gift and a birthday gift. And she is Mrs. Bebe Alcoseba. She has a great devotion also to the Señor Santo Niño. For how many years I've been keeping the Santo Niño with me. But sad to say, I lost them in the tragic fire that happened way back in 2001. From the tragic incident, I'd like to share with you the brighter side of my life, which is my love story. I'd like to share with you an unforgettable experience way back in the 1980s. Can you imagine that I have to wake up as early as 4 o'clock in the morning till 5 and ride a jeepney towards the Basilica, and to be the first person to kiss the image of the Santo Niño, because I was asking the Señor Santo Niño a very big favor. And I'd like to share with you what favor is this, that I will be granted yes, because I was courting my wife then, that she would say yes to me. To my perseverance and to my prayers to the Santo Niño, to my surprise, she said yes, and everything was history. And right now, we have 4 kids So blessed to be healthy, and they are all educated with the presence and the guidance of us both parents as a good Christian. To give you a brief information about my wife, she's Ophelia, and she was born January 13, 1964, and we come from the same department, accounting department of the University of San Carlos, and we met in the campus, and we finally get to know each other when we had a summer break at Lugon Island, which is now Malapascua, way back in the 1980s. So one thing that really, we shared the same sentiments and what do you call this, our Christian faith, most especially our devotion to the Santo Niño. We see to it that when we were going steady for the past 7 years, we never missed going to Mass at the Basilica. And every Wednesday, we usually go to Mass at our Mother Perpetual Help. And what really strikes us most is that we always remember to go to Guadalupe every December 12 at 12 o'clock noon for the Mass, for the Feast Day Mass of Our Lady. So that really helped us brought up our family in such a manner that we put our lives, Jesus as the center, with Mary as our mother. A family that prays together stays together, they say, and a family that's dancing sinulog always stays together. Ever since my kids were toddlers, they were still growing up through the years, we always see to it that we always pray the rosary during the month of October. Aside from that, we usually go to Mass the same time, the whole family, until now, if they are here in the Philippines. So what really is the greatest foundation that we can share to our kids was during the growing up years when we do some charitable works like feeding the less fortunate brothers and sisters of our neighborhoods in Parian and our neighbors in Tabuelan and Karkar. We see to it that they have to be with us during these charitable works that we do. These charitable works that we're doing really instill to my children the value of sharing. No words can express my thanks for all the blessings through the years that the Lord has given to my family. I can expect that something very tragic happened to my family way back in 2001. A day before, 2 days before the Sinulog, on a Friday, which was the Triduum of the Feast of the Senior Santo Niño, January 18, 2001, a terrible incident happened to us. Our house was burned in a split of an hour. Everything was gone, including the costumes for Sinulog that we'll be preparing for the feast day of the Santo Niño on Sunday and on the Fluvial, which is Saturday. Very tragic to the extent that it was a leap of faith. God was trying to test our faith, how far we can go. Can you imagine that with bare white t-shirt and jeans, we have to appear at the pier for the fluvial procession, and everybody was shocked because they didn't imagine that in spite of the tragic incident the day before, we still have the heart to offer to the Santo Niño no matter what happened the day before. And one thing there, I can remember on the festival day itself on Sunday, people were crying or were dancing the streets. I can barely imagine, I can hardly breathe, that the sentiments that people try to express their sympathy and their great honor for us being so to fight everything against all odds in spite of the tragic incident, that we have to share to everybody the experience of no matter what. We are going to open the eyes of everybody. In spite of the tragic incident, the devotion has to go on. So we are so blessed because if not for our deeper devotion and faith to the Santo Niño, I don't think we can make it during that time. So I'd like to thank the Santo Niño for blessing us to experience such a very tragic event that really shaped our lives to what we are right now. In spite of the event, a spectator came up to me and asked, "Until when are you going to stop dancing Sinulog?" And all of a sudden, without a split of a second, I answered him, "Till my last breath, I will dance for him." Forever grateful, it's not just a legacy of dance that my mom gave to us, it's a legacy of our faith. The Sandiego Dance Company or the Sandiego Dance Studio or the studio itself is the second home for most of my dancers. When they have problems with their family, they come up to me and my wife, they share their joys, there's problems with us. And I'm so blessed that these people can easily come to us and share with them their problems. Considering us as the second parents, and I always tell them that in spite of everything, don't give up, always pray to Jesus. The Sandiego Dance Company is so blessed to perform numerous events, most especially religious events in our country. To name a few, during the 100th anniversary of the Philippine independence, we were the one who danced Sinulog to welcome the King and Queen of Spain to Cebu. And during the International Eucharistic Congress, we were able to perform to the delegates in different countries. And during the Thanksgiving Mass of San Pedro Calungsod, way back October 20, we were the one who danced for the Thanksgiving and performed the reenactment of his martyrdom. Aside from these big events, the dancers are so blessed to welcome different relics of famous saints like Santa Rita de Cassia, Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus, Saint John Don Bosco, San Padre Pio, to name a few.
Kasabay ng huling misa ni Pope Francis sa bansa sa Enero ay ang Sinulog Grand Parade sa Cebu. Kaya naman naimbitahan ng Sandiego Dance Company ng Cebu para magtanghal sa misa at ituro ang sayaw ng Sinulog.
During 2015, the visit of Pope Francis in Manila, we were so privileged to dance the Sinulog during the last Mass at the Quirino Grandstand. It was a very memorable experience for us, 60 of us dancers. Imagine, we were supposed to dance Sinulog here in Cebu, but we have to sacrifice being there in Manila for that very big momentous event. And it is one of those events that I and the dancers will never forget that experience. In that event, I have to plan out things. So I have to put another group here in Cebu for the fiesta, for the Sinulog, and I have to train again another 100 dancers, and another 60 dancers have to go to Manila. One thing there memorable because my family, the Sandiego family, immediate family, we were complete. Because we were surprised by my children who were from the States, who came and flew all over just to dance, so that we, the family, will be blessed by Pope Francis. It was indeed a blessing for us, the Sandiego family. Gifted to Give 2021. I have to share with you my experience in this big event, considering in the midst of the pandemic. I have to tell my dancers that no matter what, we have to share everything that we have in spite of this pandemic. It was a hard experience for us, considering with all the protocols and everything, that we have to be careful with our safety and the rest of the dancers to do the reenactment of the first Christianization and the giving of the Santo Niño, to be presented during the 500, which is April 14, 2021, at the exact date. And indeed, we were so blessed that everything went out so successful. And now I would like to share with you our virtual shoot of the 500 from the Sandiego Dance Company.
Vita dulce tu spes nostra salve, a te clamamus exules filii Evert.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share with you my life with Jesus through dance. God bless us all.